Here with the fourth-time monarch and reigning monarch of the USVI, Lucas Evans, stage name John Gotti. A local from the village of Anse La Raye was moved to the USVI and has been doing great things. So he's gonna give us a little insight into this year's competition and his early days in the Calypso arena. Lucas?
Yeah, man. Give thanks, for having me on this little vibe there, right there in my little fishing village of Anse La Raye. And I give thanks again to all my people, them, because it's love alone. So, I'm Lucas Evans, aka John Gotti, my stage name. And I have to say that I give thanks for my people in my village for supporting me all them years as a youth, emceeing all like queen shows in the village and, all different kind of stuff. I always participate in musical stuff and sports, you know. And big up to my idol them, big up to my guys them that really always behind me, like the great Herb Black, one of my key writers over the years, and Walston Alfred, you know. And 2018, my first crown in the US Virgin Islands my song was written by Walston Alfred, better known as Wally. And after this, after 2018, they dethroned me. I came first runner-up, and I come back again and knock them out. In 2024, 2025, and 2026, my songs was written by Herb Black, the great Herb Black man, the Rasta man from Anse La Raye Fishing Village, and also written by a guy named Tempo from Trinidad and Tobago. So I go in global, just, to keep the vibe nice and a different flavor.
Yeah. All right, Lucas, you've given us some good insight. Before moving to the USVI and participating in Calypso, have you ever done Calypso at a 10th level in St. Lucia?
Well, I only performed at the 10th level only 1 year. And after that, I had to leave, because, you leave your country for a better life. Because when you get the opportunity, you have to take it. But, St. Lucia always my home. Yeah. You know what I mean? And not just St. Lucia, Anse La Raye. I love Anse La Raye. I know. I can't go nowhere if not Anse La Raye. You know what I'm saying? But only once I perform in the tent because I'm a member of the TOT tent. And also I will be next week. I'm leaving on Friday and coming back next Friday because I have to open the Calypso show for TOT Soca Village on Sunday, the 24th. So they're bringing me down for that. And I'm grateful for that, So, big things coming. I have to go to I have a show. Well, they put me on a show in Trinidad in the next 3 weeks. Also, I'll be going there to that, So there's a lot of things coming in the makings, But I'm proud that I always wanted to do a trip, though. I feel like a trip would put me where I'm supposed to be. You know what I'm saying? I'm grateful for that. But it takes work and it takes a lot of hard work, a lot of practice, a lot of, your learning of your words, your diction, your clarity. You have to, a lot of practice, in fact. That covers everything,
So with St. Lucia Carnival on the horizon, and St. Lucia with the Calypso tents and the Calypso finals, and the Calypso arena is a big thing in St. Lucia. Do you have any aspirations in terms of the season coming up? Do you want to be part of it? Whether it is as a guest artist at the finals or something?
Well, what I really want, and I've been, from last year, from year before last, I'm trying and tell them, listen, man, I'm from the dirt here in St. Lucia, I'm born and raised in St. Lucia. I'm born and raised in Anse La Raye. That's my place. And I feel like, just give me a little strength, give me a little gig, give me something to show the people at least, what's really going on. I really praying for, I could get a gig for the Calypso finals. At least I could open, or probably between the first round, they put me, just to sing like at least 2 songs, I wish I could have get that little opportunity.
In my opinion, you deserve it. A 4-time monarch in the USVI and a St. Lucia native from Anse La Raye, to be exact. So, Carnival St. Lucia, this is your opportunity to book Lucas Evans for the Calypso finals, better known as John Gotti. I mean, the whole of Anse La Raye would come out and support. We're hoping that we're going to have somebody in the finals this year as well. So yeah, any last message to the young aspiring musicians within the community?
Yeah, man, I just telling all the youths them, because, we're from a fishing village and a music village, as I always tell them, because, we have a lot of talent out there. And the youths them, that keep them out of being in trouble if they just come together, or we as the adults that's in it already try and grab them, to come together so we could be, the support and teach them the ropes and make them, join the art form, join the Calypso art form, the Soca art form, because, they have a lot of opportunities right now in this world for Soca, for Calypso, no matter what you think. You understand what I'm saying? So, just love alone and give, stay focused. Let the use them stay focused and let we try and help them to reach that level. You understand? Because I get that strength, as I say, from Miss Turville when I was in the church choir. When from her Black and Wally, I always in the props when they were singing. I always hold the props things for them. I always involved. You understand? Wally carried me everywhere. Junior Calypso, Wally was my writer. Her Black, I follow her Black and Wally everywhere because that's what I love to do, and they give me the strength too. You know what I mean? So I think it's they really, discover my talent before even I discover my talent. Because sometimes Wally or Black will write a song and they tell me, "Gotti, you think you'll handle it?" I say, "Yeah, I could handle it because I sing all the songs fluent. Like I could sing all the songs. That's how I deal with them, Yeah, for sure. But you don't know, Anse, we have a lot of great talent, and I just asking for that opportunity to come represent.
I think you've been a spectator previously at St. Lucia Calypso finals, and you've participated in the USVI, winning the crown 4 times. What would you say is the difference between these two countries in terms of the competition level? Some people within the community would want to say that it's a lot easier to win in the USVI. Are you buying that narrative?
Okay, so they have a difference, but it's not like a big difference. But the difference is like, okay, in the US Virgin Islands, they have a mix-up of people. So you get people from St. Kitts and Nevis, Dominica, and Puerto Rico, and you get people from everywhere. Anguilla, you get people from Trinidad that lives there in the Virgin Islands. So they form the Virgin Islands. So so you have people from St. Lucia also. I'm the only St. Lucian that compete, but I compete against Dominicans, St. Kitts and Nevis, Antiguans, Grenadians, and Trinidadians. So they have a whole, you understand? And the finals this year was 13 of us in the finals. So 12 of the Caisonians just coming to attack me hard. And I know they have what it takes for it to take the crown, but I have to come good.
So is it similar to St. Lucia with 2 rounds or
Yeah,
something?
two rounds, and they have 7 judges, and they have a criteria you have to follow also, like the same criteria like St. Lucia.
Yeah.
You have to follow it, and with 7 judges judging you.
So would you want to give the St. Lucia Calypso competition a run, probably next year or in the future? Is it something that you're looking at?
I'm working on next year.
Next year?
Yeah, I'll spend some time, Lucia, like a good 3 months going into the Calypso to make sure I don't go, get my time too, so I could rehearse and practice and with the band and set up my props and try and do what I have to do to reach to the finals. But that's my aim for next year. Well, my manager want that to happen also.
Yeah. Well, on behalf of Discover Anse La Raye and all of us, we want to say congratulations to you. We're proud of you as a community, and we want you to continue the good work that you're doing. Any last messages to your fans and to your people from Anse La Raye?
Yeah, man. I just like to say, man, big up my fans them from here and abroad. And I love the support and I love the love. And I'll continue to do what I'm doing because that's what I'm doing and I love it.
And to close off this interview, we want a few lines from your winning piece. So, over to you, John Gotti.
Yeah, man, you don't know. Yeah, man. So are you a champion? Or are you a champion? Are you in for your stake or in for the people's sake? Tell me, for the good of the state, are you real or fake? Yeah, man. You don't know how the thing said. That's one of the songs that I perform, and this year, 2026, and one of the other songs, because this song name, Are You a Champion or Are You a Trampion? And it's all about our Caribbean leaders in the Caribbean. So we need to come together as one, and have a voice. So that's what I'm saying. So who will be the next Fidel Castro, Eric Williams or Oral Barrow? Who will champion our cause? Who will stand at United Nations in the face of G7 nations, voting to oppose their wars? It's true there is strength in numbers, so I beg you, come all you leaders, for more unification. They say no man is an island. It must take yours and my island to make one Caribbean. If you are a champion, it's the people you represent. If you are a champion, you setting a bad precedent. So are you a champion? Or are you a champion? Are you in for your stake or in for the people's sake? Tell me, for the good of the state, are you real or fake?